Hey, everybody. I've got a special guest today. This is Dr. Libby. And she is from DNA Element, Mobile DNA Elements, .com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've had her on here before, and she's had some great talks. You guys absolutely loved her, and I do too. And so since our interview, a lot has happened in her life and with these experiments that she does with intention. So I asked her to come on again and tell us what she's been up to because it's pretty darn exciting. Okay, so why don't you give us a little history for those who've never heard of you or never seen you before, and bring us up to speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I have a PhD in molecular and cellular biology, so I was like a hardcore scientist. I genetically engineered viruses. I ran a core service that was involved in PCR, which is the test that people use for diagnosis these days. And But then a lot of other things caused me to shift into some more alternative areas. And a short version is doing some energy work and including radionics, which is kind of a psychic instrument. Um, I also traveled to Japan in 2019 for training in Dr. Emoto's office, and I got their instruments, which can do a full scan of your organs and tissues and measure what is out of balance, and then imprint water to bring back balance. So a lot of what I'm doing now is about water and balance and imprinting water in a variety of ways. And it's been a blast and it's been fun, and I'm exploring all kinds of things. And so I've been doing some amazing experiments lately. And but one of the first imprinted waters that I made, I called Dr. Libby's Magic Potion. So it has nothing to do with magic. It's just that it is amazing. And what it does, it increases life force energy of a person, or chi or prana. And I've measured this hundreds of times in people using radionics to measure it.
That's
So,
incredible.
so I'm continuing, yeah. And
Oh,
the thing about magic, the potion, is that when it's actually diluted, it gets stronger. It's more potent when it's diluted. So you can keep diluting it a billion, a trillion fold, and it'll be stronger.
that's
And you
incredible.
can take it. I've met people every day for months and watch their life force energy go up exponentially. It just skyrockets. So,
So you just put like one drop in a whole gallon and it'll be
mm-hmm.
more effective than dumping a whole bottle in there.
Right.
That's
That's right.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, well, how did you even figure that out? Like, or how is that even possible?
It's a good question. um, well, it started because I saw in my mind's eye some symbols, which I think are these symbols or glyphs of the same light language that you speak.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know if these glyphs are meant to be pronounced. But whatever it is I wrote them down, and this was in 2018. And I wrote them down into a certain order, which I do by muscle testing or intuition, or you could do a pendulum, things like that, to determine answers to yes, no questions. And I put these glyphs into a certain order, and that order is the energy which became the magic potion. And I wrote that down and put that on my radionics instrument, and then found that I could imprint water set on the radionics instrument. So that energy of the symbols went into water. And then I found that if I take that water, my energy went up too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome. Oh
and,
yeah.
and,
Well, we were
oh,
going to do some experiments with my light language and see what happens with that. We still need to do that.
yes, yes, yes. Um, the, um, oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well,
The
what happened with those like junior high girls you were talking about that kind of got you going?
Okay, yeah, let me say one more thing is that I've
Yeah.
measured telomers. I can measure the telomers in myself and another person,
What are
and
telomeres?
they got longer. So telomeres are associated with longevity.
Oh, okay.
And lots of experiments have been done in mice and fruit flies and probably a lot more animals by now. They found that telomeres are the ends of your DNA. And as you age, your telomeres get shorter and shorter,
Hmm.
presumably causing a shorter life. And so when they did experiments where they could artificially lengthen the telomeres of animals, their lifespan doubled or tripled. It got longer.
Wow.
So one of my friends who was taking magic potions said, "Is this the fountain of youth?" When I muscle test that, I got it. Yes. I was like, wait. And she said, "Can you measure telomere length?" And it's like, let me see. So I did. I made some radionics codes to measure telomeres, and yes, my telomeres and her telomeres were getting longer. And it's also that people I've known even less than a year have told me that I look younger and younger. Now, I think it also could be that I feel like I'm doing my life's purpose. I'm just feeling more vibrant myself, but um, it's just interesting. I don't know what to conclude about it. It's just interesting. Okay,
Awesome.
yeah. And so you mentioned about the junior high girls.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, in May, I I do a kind of a yearly workshop with junior high girls. Then it's with a group called Expanding Your Horizons. And their mission is to get girls interested in science and math fields. And all of these workshops are taught by female professionals. So, so I did a workshop this year in May, and with them, I had each girl to get like a 1 ounce glass bottle of water, and they would hold it and focus on, say, love. And what that's doing is that is actually imprinting the water with their love feelings. And then with the radionics instrument in the class, I would measure the life force energy of it. So, and then I would also take a dilution of that, and they could see that the life force energy increased that was imprinted into the bottle. So, um, a lot of them didn't really even understand this. Like they didn't. A lot of them didn't even understand what the word intention was very much. You know,
Whoa.
that's okay, right? But they were getting introduced now to this idea that
Mhm.
they have the power to affect some water, and and we also then they also I also asked them to focus anger on the bottle of water, and on the bottle that they had already put some positive energy into. Then I asked them to focus anger, and the energy went down from what it was. So they got to see that what they think about affects things, which is very powerful.
That's
And it may not
awesome.
kick in with them for a while, but they've been exposed to it now.
Mm.
So that's very powerful, I think. And then that led to me doing a more formal experiment now, which I'm in the process of graphing up the data, uh, doing a more formalized experiment with 27 people that I did essentially that same thing with. And I'm I've measured these bottles of water after I dilute them. and then I've graphing them. So
Amazing. Is that where you had some graphs that you wanted to share? Is that in terms of the experiment?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the experiment with these 27 people.
Okay. Let's see if it'll pull up.
You share
Fingers
screen.
crossed. Yay. Oh, yay.
Good. Okay,
Okay.
great. Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, so this first graph is when I ask the each person to think about love as they're holding the bottle. So that's imprinting love into the bottle. And what I'm measuring is the life force energy in that bottle. And also I made dilutions of the bottle, of each bottle. And so it's dilutions. Can you see the cursor here? Can you see my
Yes.
cursor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the original imprinted love, and then the first dilution, second dilution, third dilution, and each one is 1/1000th of the earlier one. So this is 1,000-fold dilution, a million-fold dilution, and a billion-fold dilution.
So that's
Okay.
diluted down so that it's even smaller, even less of it in there. That's
So
unbelievable.
but it gets stronger. You can see the life force energy going up.
Oh my gosh.
This is a logarithmic scale, so this is going up exponentially, very, very fast.
Wow.
And all of the samples go up with dilution. Okay, on the life force energy. All the life force energy goes up. Okay. So
it just makes you wonder what other things in life this applies to that we don't know.
yeah. And the big question for me, and I don't know the answer yet, is what is happening there? Why does it do this?
Yeah.
Is water doing something? Is the consciousness of water doing something? Is it the consciousness of the person?
I just felt that it was the consciousness of the water doing something.
Okay, right.
So
So right, water. Dr. Emoto, I had read that he had said water is God, but I could not specifically find that quote. And I know I have found a quote where he said water is a messenger of God. So water has some really amazing properties, and actually I will be going to Germany in October to a conference on water that was started by Gerald Pollack, who is at the University of Washington. And I will present this data that I'm showing you now, and
awesome.
as a poster. I won't be giving a talk, but I will make a poster and present it there.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to come back on again and give us an update again.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. So this is measuring the life force energy, and measuring the life force energy in the bottle where they imprinted love. Okay. Now the next graph is the same bottle where they imprinted love, but I'm measuring something else. And I do these measurements with the radionics instrument, and I'm measuring love. So, love is a bit different from life force energy, but this is still happening. You see the same pattern where all of the samples, when they're diluted, they get stronger in love. Okay. And then I also measured harmony in the bottle that was imprinted with love, and I haven't graphed that one up yet, but it does the same thing. The harmony goes up too when it's diluted.
Okay. Wait a minute. Something just occurred to me. While you were saying that, I was picturing even people putting images on their bottles. Like if they have, a lot of people have like those blue glass bottles. They could put like, if they're giving, let's say, I don't know, like they love their cat and they want to put a picture of the cat on it. Like their love for their cat goes on the bottle. Like they think that beneficial and healthy for my cat. So they put a picture of the cat's picture on there as with the intention of it being the healthiest thing for them. But then, and my mind just went with all these different things. I was shown all these different things. And then it occurred to me, the labels that people put on products that they sell us in stores are imprinted, also are imprinted in the liquid inside. And even the nefarious people know this, and they label it whatever they're like, monster energy drink, for example, guys.
Yeah.
It's actually like the label on it is actually imprinting the liquid in it too. And I don't know why that just dawned on me, but it's like, it's the same thing. We're talking about the same thing. It's intention. And that's how they put black magic in things too. Even if it's just Gatorade or something, I'm not to say anything bad about Gatorade necessarily, but whatever brand it is, if they have the intention, if they have evil intention, even if it says like honesty or purity or what natural flavors or whatever, they can still put that intention on it and just make everybody sick.
Well, this is really interesting because that kind of
But we
leads
can change it, right? I mean, we can take that same bottle with natural flavorings and we can change it.
Yes, yes. In fact, I ask that anything that goes into my body, automatically all the toxins, all the negative energy be removed as it goes into
I
my
do
body.
that. I do that. And my cat drinks out of the tap water. So I do the same thing with that. Like she can't help herself. She wants to drink out of there and I can't stand it. So, but I'm always like, as it's coming out of the faucet, I'm saying that to the water, only the most healthy, beneficial toxins released, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Right. And I used to ask, okay, say butter, and I used to muscle test, are there negative things in here? XYZ. Yes. Okay. And I asked them to be removed. And then is there other things? Is there this? And it got to be so wordy that finally I just went to, okay, anything that is not for my highest and best is removed from this thing as I eat it. And automatically I put that automatically in place all the time.
Yeah. And I'll go even simpler than that. What I do, and it's similar. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like there is no like one way or whatever. People can use a simple, put like Reiki underneath their dish when they eat their plate or whatever. But for me, I look at the food I'm about to eat, let's say, and I imagine or I pull out anything not good for me. So I see like this black cloud being released for it and sucked into my little spiritual garbage can over here. And so, you know what I mean? It's the same principle and everything. I just remove the big cloud from it and put it in the garbage. And then it's pure and clean.
That's wonderful. And that also speaks to the power of visualization and imagination.
Yes. Yeah. So what else do you want to show us in here?
Okay. All right. So this is, then I had asked people to imprint anger into another bottle. Okay. So they held it and thought about something angering or frustrating. Okay. And then I measured the life force energy again, or chi or prana. Okay. But this one, they imprinted anger. But guess what? The life force energy, when the sample was diluted, went up in all of the samples. So I don't know why.
So the negativity went up?
No, it's not it's not more negative. But the life force energy is positive. The positive life force energy is greater.
Whoa. So wait a minute. So you started out with anger?
Yes.
And the consciousness of the water raised the vibration of the life force energy when it got diluted.
Could be. And then I didn't graph this yet, but I also measured anger in all the bottles too. So I measured the anger in the anger imprinted water, and what it does, the anger goes away. The anger goes to zero. The water does not hold the anger.
Whoa.
But it provides the life force energy.
So you can measure it like in a moment, but then it's gone?
No, when I dilute it, when like
Oh,
original bottle, there might be a measurement of like 1 or 2, but then when it gets diluted, it goes down to 0. And in the dilutions, there's 0 anger left. And that's a mystery. Yeah. So if
see,
anyone
but
has
that's
any
kind of the
ideas,
way that, I mean, that's kind of the way that it is. Like if you have chlorine, something that's kind of toxic, or bleach, and you dilute it, it becomes, less harmful for you. But I wonder if the more delusion you apply to that situation and the bigger, then it could actually become really beneficial.
so
So I wonder how that works with like deuterium or something, because there's deuterium in the water supposedly, right?
yeah.
And it's in everything, and you can't get it out of anything. You have to buy really specialized, real super expensive equipment to get rid of it.
Mhm.
But if this theory is right, which I believe, then that would mean that the deuterium, as it's getting diluted, is actually going to have more life force energy, which will then take over and annihilate it.
That would be really interesting to measure.
Right? I think
So,
we got to think about that one. I don't know how, but
well, and that kind of your questions almost get to the second experiment that I just did
okay.
yesterday. So
Imagine
this,
that.
yeah.
I do that a lot.
So the anger imprinted bottle, I also measured the love in it too. Okay, so again, the love, it goes up with dilutions in the water that was imprinted with anger.
Whoa.
Yeah, and again, I didn't graph it yet, but I measured the level of anger in it, and and as the dilutions go, the level of anger goes down to 0. But the love is amplified, and the life force energy is amplified.
Which is just total proof that love wins over negativity.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Huh.
So
Wow.
that's what we graphed so far, and so I can stop sharing the screen now.
Amazing.
Um, this is really amazing. And like I said, I'm still working out how does this happen. Um, I have not talked in detail with the homeopaths or someone who makes homeopathic remedies about their understanding of how those remedies work, and how diluting them makes them stronger. But I would like to. So there's a lot to investigate here. It brings up more questions than it answers, which
I'm not
is
sure they
good.
even know. Do you think they even know?
Not really.
I don't think they know,
Yeah.
because they'll tell you only take this, this, and this, and it's always. I
See,
I think they'd be shocked. I think you need to get this information out to these guys.
I bet they never put emotions into their preparations. It's always a plant, right?
That too. That
You
too.
look at emotions, and I'm looking at things that are emotional. Um,
Oh my gosh.
so as a part 2 of this experiment, what I'm doing, and I only have 2 people measured so far. So when I showed you that the last dilution had the highest life force energy, right? So what I'm asking people to do, if they wish to, is to actually take a 1 drop of that dilution into their mouth. And then I measured their energy before they take it and after they take it. So this energy, when they take it, their energy goes up by by trillions of digits. In other words, you would have to add another trillion zeros onto the end of the number where it was before. Their life force energy goes up. I don't, the numbers get too big. I don't know how to speak about them.
Do they actually feel the difference? I'm like, do
Uh,
they have tons of energy, and are they like running around like on a sugar high? You
right.
know?
So far, it's been 2 people, and
Okay.
I've not had someone say that they felt a difference. One was a client that I saw in my office, and so I didn't hear from her after she left.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know that but I did mention to them, just in case you get a lot of energy, you might have trouble sleeping tonight. So, and
Right.
it isn't like they have a lot of energy like caffeine does. It is like it is with magic potion. If people take a lot of that, sometimes they get a lot of energy, but it is a very calm and peaceful energy. Just simply like, no, I just don't feel tired. It
Hmm.
it's not like caffeine. They just feel
Wow.
very calm energy.
So you
Um,
guys could even take a picture of somebody that you want to emulate, or like your qigong master, or like the my lotus or something like that. You can put it on the back of like your pitcher of tea or your pitcher of water, like laminate it and tape it, and then just put love into it, and it'll be like.
and what seems to be the most powerful thing is that you dilute it.
Yeah.
Dilute it, the energy gets stronger than your original energy. You were the one
So
who printed the bottle. So when you dilute it, that is amplified the energy that you imprinted into it. Now, if
okay.
you can ingest that back, that increases your own energy.
So you could even take like you could how could you delete it? Okay, so you could make a pitcher and then you pour it into many little bottles or smaller bottles, like the kind that you just bring in your car and put in the cup holder, right? So you have a pitcher and then you have all these other glasses, and then you just pour a little bit into each one and pour water on top of that. So it's like totally diluted.
I would
Is
just
that
even
kind
take
of how you do it?
I would even just take one drop
A
of
drop of it, of
the
course.
original, one drop of the original, which is essentially
Holy
what
cow.
one drop into another glass. And then you could mix that up and take one drop of that glass and put it into another glass.
Whoa. Okay.
It's
Wow.
This is easy. You could do this at home.
It's hard
Easy.
to even think that way though, because we're not used to doing that. We're
Yeah.
used to like the more the better. Like more vinegar gets it cleaner, or more bleach
Yeah.
kills it, or whatever. It's hard
Yeah.
to think the reverse way, but I get it. I get it. Yeah. Wow.
So, okay. So now these results all led me to have an idea for another experiment, which I just got yesterday afternoon, which was September 8th. And I did it on myself and I did it for my friend. Um, and this takes what we just talked about and applies it in a better or bigger way. So rather than just focusing on imprinting love into the water, I said we'll do an intention, a specific intention. Okay, so for myself, I did it on myself first, and I have been feeling some panic, is because I had some really big triggers for me recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I had been in a state of panic. Even though I could still function and everything else, I could feel the panic inside. So I really wanted to address it, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of my own mechanisms is not so easy by myself to work on it. So what I did is, first of all, I measured my level of panic. So this is for me, so I could validate it. With the radionics, I measured my level of panic, which was a 5 out of 10. And then then I got a bottle and focused on it for 2 minutes, like just the other ones, on my intention. My intention was to resolve panic now, on all dimensions, on all timelines, on all incarnations, and all energetic forms, in the highest and best way, easily and effortlessly. That's the kind of wordings that I usually put on my intentions. But the basic thing is resolve panic now. And I focused on that for 2 minutes. And now that bottle, I took and diluted it. Uh, Again, each time 1,000-fold. So essentially, it was a drop in each bottle. This time, I made 5 dilutions, and Uh, I measured the um, uh, life force energy in that. Now, this is very kind of bizarre here, but okay, let me just say, when I measured myself for the level of panic, it was at a 5. And as I went preparing these bottles, I measured myself again, and it went down to a 4 and then a 3. And I didn't take any of this water yet. So I think, this is my idea, I think that just the fact of preparing it and knowing that this was happening, my level of panic went down.
I have the same thing happen when people intend to get a reading.
Yeah.
They tend to have like a sense of peace come over them, and things start getting resolved before they even talk to me.
Yes. Yeah, that I felt that in other ways too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So then I measured the life force energy of the dilution. So this isn't related to panic really, but I wanted to measure the life force energy, because like in the other examples of the bottles of the data I showed, the life force energy kept going up when it was diluted. This was opposite, and I have no idea why. This was a shock to me. I measured the life force energy. The original undiluted bottle where I focused on panic, the life force energy was more than a trillion digits. It's like more than a 1 with a trillion zeros after it, which is a lot, but I've been taking magic potion for 4 years, so the life force energy is high. But then I measured each of the dilutions, and with each of the dilutions, the life force energy went down. I have no idea why. It went down until the 5th dilution was only 4 digits, meaning like 1,000. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen anything that the life force energy goes down. But this is okay. This isn't bad. It made it stronger. It did make it stronger somehow. Okay, so then of the 5th dilution, which was only 4 digits of life force energy, I took 1 drop of that and measured my panic level again, and it went down to 1. And then 10 minutes later, I measured again, the panic level went down to 0. So
Even though the life force energy had gone down?
yeah, it was more powerful. It was more powerful in the diluted ones, but I don't know why. But I do know that it was more powerful.
So more powerful, but less life force energy.
Right. That the only thing I can think of is that perhaps that panic emotion is a very low vibration emotion. So maybe the remedy or the water had to come down in energy to match the frequency of panic.
Huh.
It's my guess. I don't know.
How interesting.
Yeah. But the thing is, I asked that my panic be resolved, and it went down to 0 when I took 1 drop of the dilution. And then, okay, so then I did a similar intention with my friend who has blood sugar imbalances. I had already seen that her pancreas was fine, and others intuitives have seen that her pancreas is fine, but nevertheless, she still has to take insulin for years, many years she's taken insulin.
Yeah.
So the intention be that the blood sugar imbalance be resolved. And a similar thing happened where when I diluted it, the life force energy again went down. But then she took 1 drop of that last dilution, and as soon as she took it, she could actually feel her level of thirst decrease, which she had a level of thirst which is associated with the blood sugar problems and diabetes. She could feel her level of thirst go down. So she actually felt that.
Wow.
And I measured her initial level of blood sugar imbalance was at a 5 out of 10, similar to my panic. And in about 10 minutes, her maybe 15, 20 minutes, her level of blood sugar imbalance went down to 0. And so we're still watching how it goes. But this morning she mentioned she was feeling somewhat better. So we still have to see. And that's only taking one drop one time.
Jeez.
And when I would muscle test about this, I get, is it highest and best for her to take more drops? No. Is it highest and best to take like one drop again? No. And same with my panic. Is it highest and best for me to take a drop of that again? No. Don't need it.
Holy, and your panic hasn't come back?
Right. So I do say, though, I do have anxiety. So it says there's kind of a subtle distinction to make about tension and anxiety. So anxiety isn't the same as panic. Mm-hmm. So my next thing that I'll probably do this afternoon is work on that, which actually, when I actually muscle tested it, what I really is best for me to work on is actually being in my heart space. Mm-hmm. This is what led to my panic. Is an event happened, which I had a big heart opening and received a lot of downloads. And that triggered something that I had been programmed with when I was little. You better not do that. Is a big trauma that they had done to me when I went into my heart space. Mm. So this experience that I had that opened my heart space triggered a panic because I knew I was going to be really hurt. So wow. That was what the panic was from. Wow. Now, whether the panic could occur again, I don't know. So these are really good questions. And we'll have to see.
Wow. Well, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram and whatnot, and we can chat about things. And you can ask me why something's happening, and we'll bounce it off each other. Because this is incredible what you're doing. I love it.
Yeah.
So, wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all of this with us. And I mean, yeah, it's probably given all of our viewers a lot of confidence that they have the power to change things just with their intention.
Yeah, this is the most important thing, that this, when water is imprinted with intention and then is diluted, it gets stronger, and then you can take it back yourself and enhance yourself again. And anyone can do this at home. So
you know, one thing that makes me think of is that I was just thinking that if you have an intention, like you have to talk to your boss or something about something that's really uncomfortable, if you intend to go in there and your boss is going to take it well and be supportive and everything, that would be like a drop in a way with intention. So then diluting it would be like having the intention and letting it go. Just like the law of attraction, you put out the intention and then you forget about it. That's diluting it, right? It's when you keep thinking about it, you're adding more drops and more drops. And you don't need all those drops. You just need one drop and then turn your attention that way.
Yeah. One drop.
Doesn't that make you think? Like, because this applies to so many things, like energetic. It was with me and energy work. I'm just thinking, how does this apply to that too? So that must be why it's so powerful to let go.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's so many aspects in here that to look at. It becomes a challenge for which question do I ask next or answer?
I know. Like, where do we go with this?
Yeah.
Where do we go with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep doing and working together, and you know, we can experiment. You know, I would love to be a part of any of this that you're doing, and yeah, I know some wonderful things are to come. This is just the beginning.
Yes, I think so.
But you know, I applaud you. on this work. And I know your trip to Germany is going to be mind blowing. And I can't wait to hear what happens when you get back. So thank
I
you
would tell,
again. Yeah.
oh, I know I'll be talking about all these like muscle testing, imprinting, and there's a physicist and molecular biologist and all kinds of hard scientists there, which I speak that language, but
Mhm.
it'll be like on a different level. It'll be very interesting to speak how I speak it now.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much. And everybody who's watching, thank you for listening and hanging out with us and hearing all this, because I think it's important for everybody to realize just how powerful they are and what they can do. And just think, like I've been doing, just think about how this could apply in your own life and
Yes.
all the different things that this means and all the different things that you could even try at home and experiment with to see what happens, when you put your intention on something
Right.
and
What can you
dilute it.
dream up? Yeah. What can you dream up? What can you do?
Mm-hmm.
You'll
Mm-hmm.
be surprised. Hmm.
Yay. All right. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Yeah, bye.